Hello and welcome back. We are in a different mood today, but leaving it apart, Shift Survival has come to episode 5, and the thoughts around are really more like what is going to happen next, right? Guns are getting outmatched, the monsters are becoming ruthless, even dangerous. Abhi's questioning who or what is behind all of this because it doesn't seem unnatural, it doesn't seem unplanned. So let's explore what happens next in this new episode 5. The title is Awakening. Now, by the title, you must have got your own thoughts, but just hold it a little because you are going to enjoy this one. So, without wasting any time, let's get straight into the story. Here we go. By the 10th day, the world no longer felt like Earth. The three of them had grown used to the emptiness. Ghost towns, abandoned cars, shop windows froze mid sail. But now the emptiness was changing. The air itself seemed heavier, buzzing faintly like static. Streetlights would flicker at odd hours even though the grid was gone. Shadows bent in strange angles, longer than they should be, as though something unseen was pulling them. Animals, too, were different. Crows circled overhead in flocks far larger than Abhi remembered, their cries sharper, more guttural. Stray dogs that once might have wagged their tails now growled, low, eyes glinting unnaturally in the dark. It wasn't just the people that were gone, the rules of the world were changing. That morning, as they passed through a hollow suburb, Avi noticed something unsettling. Bells in the temple ringing, though there was no wind. Kriti muttered a prayer under her breath. Abhi didn't say anything, but his grip on the pistol tightened. The pickup jerked and came to a sudden halt. Abhi got out to check the engine. Are we okay? Kay asked, looking around. Abhi gave out a sigh. The engine's busted. Must have been those stupid flaming zombies. So, what do we do now? Arvi muttered. I guess we are on foot now. Abhi slamming the hood shut. By the time the sun dipped below the horizon, they were exhausted. Nearby, they saw a school on the outskirts of a small town. Brick walls cracked, weeds choking the playground, chalkboards inside still smeared with half-solved equations. This will do for tonight, Abhi said, scanning the halls with his rifle. His tone was steady, but inside he felt the unease, gnawing at him. Classrooms should have echoed with kids, lockers should have been clanging, instead, only the sound of dripping water and their own breathing filled the halls. They set up a camp in a classroom. Kriti lit a small lantern, the glow casting long shadows over rows of empty desks. Arvi leaned against a broken window, watching the horizon burn orange with a dying sunset. And then the ground began to hum. Kriti gasped at first, clutching her chest. Her skin glowed faintly, threads of light racing like veins of lightning beneath the surface. Kay? Abhi darted to her side, but before he could touch her, Arvi collapsed too. His body convulsed, heat shimmering off like a furnace. Arvi! Abhi screamed. Abhi tried to drag them upright, but a force pushed him back, like invisible hands shoving him away. Around Kriti and Arvi, energy strands wove into translucent shells, tightening until both were sealed inside glowing pods that had completely engulfed them and sealed tight. No, 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 no! Abhi pounded the surface, katana clattering against the alien cocoon. His reflection stared back, wrapped by the shifting light. He felt utterly useless. Guns, blades, all of it meant nothing here. The pod pulsed like living hearts. Abhi, well, he could just watch. He barricaded the classroom door, set up lanterns around them, and sat cross legged with the katana on his lap. Outside, distant groans echoed, undead moving through the night. Abhi's every instinct screamed to run, but he couldn't. Not while K and RV were trapped. Time lost its meaning. Hours passed. He stayed awake, muttering to himself, whispering to the pods. You better come out of this, he said, voice cracking, because I am not carrying your asses to Germany alone. Then the first crack appeared. Abhi jolted upright. The pod split with a sound like tearing silk. Arvi tumbled out first, coughing violently. The sudden snap of his fingers sent a spark flying across the room, and a pile of books erupted into flames. The hell? Abhi yelped, kicking the fire out with his boots. Arvi stared at his hand in horror. I did not mean to. Another involuntary snap. A fireball whooshed out, smashing into the chalkboard, leaving black scorch marks. Then Kriti stumbled free. She raised her hand instinctively, and every desk in the room rattled before slamming against a far wall with a deafening crash. Her eyes widened, trembling. Did I just... Abhi froze, then chuckled, then laughed until his sides hurt. Kriti stared at him. Abhi, this isn't funny. No. I don't get it. Abhi wiped his eyes. This is perfect. You guys have superpowers, I guess. And me? I just got guns and steel. Do you realize what this means? Arvi blinked. That we are freaks? That this just turned into the best thing of my life. Abhi smirked, swinging his katana onto his shoulder. You are in my party now, and lucky for you too. I've been dreaming for this my whole life. Abhi walked up to them and held both of them close. Kriti and Arvi could not even process what was happening. I'm just happy you guys are okay. For a second there, I honestly thought I lost you. They all embraced each other, close. But the moment was cut short. Groans and metallic clatters echoed outside. Figures emerged through the playground fog. Undead zombies, skin peeling like wax. Behind them stalked something worse. A knight in corroded armor, helm glowing faintly blue. Great. Tutorial fight for you two, Abhi muttered, racking his rifle. Alright, noobs, listen close. Rule 1, don't panic. Rule 2, follow my calls. Rule 3, just try not to kill me, okay? Kriti's voice shook. Abhi, we don't even know what we are doing. Exactly, why you need me? RV, left flank, fireball, small burst, aim center mass, no nukes indoors. RV snapped nervously. A firewall burst forth, slamming into a zombie's chest. The corpse lit up, staggering before collapsing in flames. Not bad, Abhi said, firing 3 precise shots into another undead skull. See? Damage over time. We are learning. Okay, you are crowd controlled. Push those desks now. Kriti thrusted her arms forward. Desks scrapped violently across the floor, smashing into undead and pinning them against the wall. She gasped at her own strength. Whoa. Abhi turned his sights onto the knight. Boss fight? He's mine. He took high ground on the desk, rifle braced, firing control burst into the glowing helm. With a final crack, the knight's armor caved, collapsing into ashes. Silence. Smoke drifted in the air. Harvey panted, hands still sparking with heat. Kriti stared at the cursed corpses, trembling. Abhi blew imaginary smoke off his rifle barrel. Textbook win. Abhi glanced at both of them, who were as shook as they were in awe of what had happened. What the actual hell is happening to us? Kriti mumbled. You guys have become powerful. Abhi gathering himself. I can throw fireballs. Arvi fixed gaze on his hands. But when the adrenaline faded, reality sank back in. These weren't levels, there were no respawns. The monster were only getting stronger, stranger. Abhi cleaned his rifle in silence, tearing into the lantern's flicker. His friends had powers now. Powers that could shift the tide of the survival. And he? Well, he was just a guy with bullets, steel, and a hint of sarcasm. Yet, for the first time, he didn't feel outmatched. He felt necessary. He was the one who saw patterns, tactics, weak spots. His gamer instincts weren't just escapism, they were survival. They were his tools. Outside, something howled. Not a wolf, not a human, something else. Abhi's smirk returned, though his eyes stayed hard. Bosses are still out there. And trust me, they won't wait for us. Kriti let out a giggle. Please, I don't even know what I am anymore. Well, the most powerful telekinetic I know? Stop joking, Abhi. If it wasn't for you, I don't even know what would have happened. She looked up towards him sitting across from the lantern. Why didn't you get powers like us? Abhi stared at the lantern and then shifted his gaze towards her. Honestly, I don't know, but my theory is that maybe this is all just a start. Maybe there's something out there for me also. Plus, I needed you both to be stronger. Let's be honest. You guys are shitty with guns. Arvi gave a slow nod, and Kriti followed. True. But, isn't this all a little cool? Arvi muttered. You mean us fighting monsters and you guys getting powers? Yes, I know I shouldn't say it like this, but Arvi's gaze lowered. Abhi stared at him with a slight smile. It is cool. True that the world is not ours anymore, but what matters is that we are here, together. Abhi glanced at Kriti. And now I have a team that I can actually rely on. Although you guys might need some help with your abilities. But consider me your personal coach from now on, if that helps. The point is, now we can fight back. We don't have to be scared of them anymore. or whatever might come next. Kriti reassured him. Not just fight back. With practice and obviously with my help, you guys may even become unstoppable. For real? Kriti raised her eyebrows. Yes, Arvi can create fire with the snap of his fingers. Maybe he can do more once he starts understanding his abilities. Same goes for you. I mean, you were able to move desks by just slight movements of your hand. Imagine if you could become powerful enough you could toss a loaded truck like a twig. I can do that? Kriti puzzled. I don't know, but I mean, look around. Does anything seem impossible to you guys at this point? Big Bro is right. Maybe I can do more than a fireball? They were silent for a while, everyone just relaxing in their own way. How are we going to move forward? Kriti questioned, lying down flat on the cold classroom floor. Now that we have better odds, we should be fine walking down the road. Abhi picked himself and started loading his backpack. We are moving now? Yes, we indeed have a long road ahead. The three of them packed their bags, stepping back onto the road under the pale dawn sky. The world around them was mutating, collapsing, but for the first time since the beam of light hit them, Abhi felt something else flickering beneath the fear. Hope. That brings us to the end of episode 5, The Awakening. And as we saw in this episode, Abhi and his crew are now facing a whole new different challenge. They have powers now. And that pretty much changes the rules of engagement. I mean, up until now, all they had was guns. Well, for Abhi, he's still on guns, but the rest of the bunch has definitely been upgraded, and it would be lovely to see how it goes next. So, let me know if you had any superpowers. What would that be? I mean, what is the most interesting superpower you would love to have? Let me know in the comments, and probably I will add those superpowers to some or the other characters that may or may not come into the story. Well, that's all for now today. Thanks for listening in, thanks for tuning in, and have a good life. As always, peace out.